And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another video stream replicating real-world flights from yesteryear. My name is Shabelle Frangi, and today we're back at Napoli in Italy, at Capodichino International Airport in Naples, or Napoli in Italy. We're back in the Peach Aviation, or Peach Air, Lockheed TriStar L-1011-1 from Captain Sim, and we're currently at stand 16 here at Napoli. Local time now here in Napoli is... See you, mate. The local time now here in Napoli in Italy is just 5 minutes to 10 in the morning. We should be pushing back here out of Napoli just after half past. We've got 337 passengers on board today with a total gross weight of 406,600 pounds and a total fuel load of 80,000 pounds. Flight time to London Gatwick, operating as Goldcrest flight 847 from Napoli to London Gatwick is 2 hours and 49 minutes. Our alternates at the moment for Gatwick is either London Heathrow or Paris Charles de Gaulle. Our en route alternate is Zurich in Corten, and our takeoff alternate is Roma Fiumicino in Italy. Our route is a bit of an interesting one today. Normally we were planning a bit more direct. We were hoping for a bit more of a direct route from dispatch, but looks like they've got us flying a bit more further north, and then coming around over Amsterdam, then the English Channel, and then from the English Channel back into the UK. Hence the reason for the little bit longer flight time and extended flight plan distance. So kindly please sit back, relax, enjoy this flight, enjoy this video. We've just completed catering now, we've just completed our fuel and weight and balance. And now we are boarding all the passengers. So we're going to go into, we've just come back from dispatch with our flight plan, we've just done the basic weight figures and we've implemented them into the simulator. We are going to get the flight planning manual. We'll do that now actually. That way you can have a good idea of what we're doing in terms of performance figures. And then we'll go in and do our cockpit flow checks. And then we'll do the checklist. And then we'll get underway here at Napoli. So kindly please sit back, relax, enjoy this flight, enjoy this video. Thanks again for tuning in. Cheers. Alright, let's open that. Where are we? Alright, close that. Okay, let's grab our figures. So, well, first let's get the ATIS. So I'll just minimize that for a sec. ATIS for Napoli. Okay, on the 20th at 0820 Zulu. 080 at 3 knots, so we'll plan for runway 6 today. We're varying from 050 degrees to 120 degrees. Visibility is 7,000 meters. It's okay. A few clouds at 3,000. 13 degrees, dew point 11. QNH 1019, no significant change. Okay, beautiful. Alright, so back and close window. We are 310 feet. So really, I mean, we're practically at sea level almost. So what is it now? 13 degrees, minus 15, it's minus 2. For good measure, you could just plus 2. Hold on, do that again. No, it's 0. Yeah, we could go standard ISO chart today. Yeah, go standard ISO. Because if I remember correctly, to calculate Iso Deviation, it's OAT minus ISA and then any of the altitude, the above sea level elevation, which is minus 2 degrees for every 1,000 feet. I mean, look, you can minus 1 if you wanted to be accurate, but look, I mean, even our average IC is saying plus 1. So we're not too far off it. That being said, in terms of our climb performance today, we'll use the standard ISO chart for our climb performance today. So let's bring up that manual. Where are we? Oh, manual. There you are. Okay, so we need to go to page 227. Alright. No, not ISO 10, sorry. Here we go, standard ISO. Max climb rating. Cruise altitude today is 360 planned, so let's get a 360. Our gross weight is 185 tonnes. AFM 185 tonnes. So 360, 185. There we go. No. Alright. So standard ISO for flight level 360 at 185 tonne. It's going to be, so where are we? 19 minutes for the climb. Fuel burn rate of 4852. Just zoom that in for you. There we go. 4852 kilos, so 4852 times 2.2 will be 10,675 pounds. 10,675 pounds. 129 nautical miles distance from ground to top of climb, and a true airspeed of 399 knots. Okay, that's ISO climb figures set. Man, I gotta take and pick it up at Rafi or Hon around the corner. Okay, let's zoom that back out. Whoop. That's standard ISO complete. Next chart, we're going to go Mark 85 cruise, which is on page 439. Mark 85 cruise. Now, we're obviously not going to be at 185. Once we subtract 10,675 pounds off the 185 times 2.2, it's 407 minus 10,675. So, hold on. 407 minus 10.7, 396.3 divided by 2.2, 180. Sorry. Yeah. There you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. There, done. No worries. Alright, Mark 85 cruise. So we're going to be at 180 tonne once we're at top of climb. Or it does say gross weight. So look, either way we can go 185. Well, probably best to go off 185. I mean, if you look at the difference between 185 and 180, the only major difference is the EPA setting, and it's not much. You can probably just split them between two and go off from that, really. But we'll go with 185 as it indicates gross weight kilograms. So 280. So for the cruise, so Mark 85 cruise for flight level 360 at 185 tonne. We're going to have 285 on the indicated airspeed knob at Mark 852. Now obviously that's plus or minus 3 knots, give or take on the indicated. Sometimes you might say Mark 84 and vice versa. So we'll just adjust the speed accordingly until we get Mark 85. EPA setting for cruise is going to be 1.654 or 1.65. You probably get 1.66 if you want. And the total air temp is going to be minus 9. And our outside air temp is going to be minus 56. Alright, that's the cruise figures set. Let's get out the set figures. It's going to be 456, page 456. Alright, so we're going to go to the Mark 84 setting. 360. We can either go flight idle. We'll usually normally go 2,000 feet per minute. So, I mean, there's not really hardly any difference between the two sets of figures. You can probably interpolate it a little bit. Excuse me. I mean, like for example, if we were to interpolate the distances, so 147 minus 139, it's 8. Divide that by 2, it's 4. Times the white one, which is 36. So 139 plus 4. It's going to be 143. So you know your distance for 36,000 feet is going to be 143 nautical miles. So descent figures for flight level 360, 2000 FPM. It's going to be, so we'll still go with 26 minutes. Descent time required. Fuel burn, again, we'll interpolate the fuel burn. So 2295 minus 2227 at 68, divide that by 2, it's 34. Obviously times 1, it's still 34, so 34 plus 2227 It's 2261. So 2261 is going to be average fuel burn from 360. But that's 2261 kilos, so times that by 2.2. And it's going to be pounds of 4975 pounds. And distance-wise was 143 nautical miles. Okay. Alrighty then. Now that we've got our climb, cruise and descent figures, let's get our takeoff V speed and takeoff EPA figures. So they're on. So takeoff speed is going to be on page 681. Alright, so it's standard flaps 18. It's going to be from sea level, pressure altitude sea level to 1,000 feet. So minus 54 to plus 41 degrees. Come down, 185 tons. So here we'll have to interpolate and we have to do the adjustments as well. So that's one thing I forgot to open. So bear with me 1 second. Was my charts, so I can do the adjustments. New flight, sim brief. Alright, let's open the chart. So we need 10-9 and 10-9 alpha. Our standard departure is going to be the T6 Golf. There it is. Close that. Arrival. It's going to be the Tebra 2 Golf. Tebra, right, Tebra. No, Tebra.
Welcome aboard.
Tebra 2 Golf. It's going to be ILS 26 left, so the initial and the final. And 20-9 and 20-9 alpha. Okay, so I'll open 10-9. So we know 10-9, effective 25th of February 2021, Naples, Italy, Cappuccino, 294 feet above sea elevation. So it's down 16. So we'll be departing off runway 06 today, so we know it's 294 on that end and 218, so it's going to be downhill slope. So to work out the slope percentage, it's going to be 294 minus 218. It's going to be 76. 76 divided by the distance, which is 8622. And then times that by 100, that's going to be 0.88%. So really up to 1% downhill. That's how we'll factor that in. Alright, so let's get back to our chart. So we know. So we've got to do a bit of interpolation here because we're 185 ton. So what we'll do is, so we'll look at the 190 and the 180 ton brackage. So we'll go 140 minus 136, which you know is 4. Divide that by 10, because that's the difference between these two figures, which comes to 0.4. Now we've got to times that by 5, because we want 185, so it's 2 knots. So we go 2 knots plus 136, we know it's 138. However, even though we know it's 138, now we need to look at the adjustments below, because it's specifically focused on the V1 adjustments. So we know for the wind at the moment, we are expecting 080 at 3. So it's primarily a headwind, but it says add 1 knot per 20 knots of headwind. We don't have that, so we'd have to worry about the wind factor. Clearway, we do just on principle, we'll do up to 400 feet. So we'll sub 2 off that. So 138 minus 2 is going to be 136. Now for the slope, up to 1% down, it's going to be sub 3. So we'll sub a further 3 off that. So we know our V1 speed, after all the interpolation and the adjustments, our V1 speed is going to be 133 knots indicated. Now, VR and V2 speeds, there's no adjustments to the VR, V2 speeds, so we'll just interpolate them as standard. So again, we know 144 minus 140 is going to be 4. Divide that by 10, it's going to be 0.4, times that by 5, it's going to be 2. So 140 plus 2 is going to be 142 is your VR speed. And then same thing for your V2 speed, which is 158 minus 155, which is 3. Divide that by 10, 0.3 times 5, it's going to be 1.5, or really round off to 2. So 155 plus 1.5, 156. So you might as well just call it 157 for argument's sake. So V2 is going to be 157. And then your V210, which is your safety speed in case of the engine failure, is going to be 167 knots. And then your V260, which is going to be your clean speed, so clean up configuration, is going to be 227 knots if I'm not mistaken. So 167 plus 60 is 227. Alright, so now we've got our V speeds up to our clean speed. And then from there, we're going to get our climb speed, so which is on page 462. Actually, before we do that, I might as well get the takeoff EPA because it's only around the corner. So that's on page 683. So between these two, temperatures between 30 and 11. So we just interpolate that really. What's that? 1.458. Oh, sorry, do that the other way around. 1.462 minus 1.458. 0.004. Divide that by 5 is 0.0008, times that by 3 is 0.0024, plus that onto 1.458, that's going to be 1.46 is going to be your standard EPA. Alright, so takeoff EPA for the engine per ratio settings, it's going to be 1.46. Alright, that's set for your minimum EPA, and that's either packs on or off. This case might have to turn them off because the runway short, it's short runway, but we'll see how we go. And plus we are almost at max weight, so it's probably best that we plan for packs off takeoff. Let's go to page 462, was it? Yes, so it's 462. So climb speeds. Righty, here we go. So we're up to 360, it's going to be 185. So we'll have to interpolate between these two and interpolate between those two. Alright. Speeds above practical operating limits are shown by asterisk. Alright. Okay. So we got 257 minus 247, that's going to be 10. Divide that by 5. Times that by 1, which is going to be 2. So 247, so it'll be 249. We'll go 255 minus 249, it's going to be 6, divide that by 5, times that by 1, it's going to be 1.2, so 247 plus 1.2, so 248. So you can, so it's safe to say you can plan about a 248 knot indicated airspeed for your climb. So V climb is going to be 248 knots indicated. Now after V climb, we want to get our V ref speed, which is on page 649. Alright, so our estimated landing weight is going to be, standby 1, 406.6 minus trip fuel, which is 48.4, 48.4, that's going to be 358.2, divide that by 2.2. So our estimated landing weight is going to be 163 tonne. So it's going to be between 165 and 160. So what's that? So 143 minus 140, that's 3, divide that by 5. 3 divided by 5, 0.6 times that by 3, 1.8 will round it off to 2, so 142 is going to be your V ref, but what we'll do is that we'll add a V app, which is plus 10 knots, so 152 is going to be your V approach speed, and V ref is going to be 142 knots, which is your landing speed, and that's plus or minus wind factors and all that sort of stuff. Alright, so that's all of our V-speeds set, which is excellent. After that, we'll need to get our holding figures. Because it is London Gatwick, there is a good chance that we might actually end up going into holding. So let's go to page 719. Alright, so it's flaps for holding, standard ISA, from flight level 200 to flight level 20. I'm just going to bring up the charts again. Where are we? Bring up the... Tebro 2 Golf, which is 20-2 Bravo, effective 3rd of December. So we'll come from Barrowmere to Odrob, and Tebro, and Abtum. Okay, minimum height allowed in the holding there is 100. So there is a good chance that we might end up in holding, depending on traffic, before we continue. So let's plan for a 100 holding. So 100. By that point, we're probably going to be between 170 and 160. So we'll just interpolate between those two. So what do we got? 1.236 minus 1.221. That's 0.015. Divide that by 10. Times that by 3 for 163. 0.0045. Add that to 1.221. So 1.225 is going to be your EPA for your holding for flight level 100, standard ISO. So 1.22 is going to be your standard EPA. Between the speeds, it's going to be 205 minus 199, which is 6. Divide that by 10.6 times that by 3. It's 1.8, so 2 really. So 199 plus 2, that's going to be 201's your indicated airspeed. Flaps 4. And the fuel, which is per engine, not total, so we'll have to interpolate that. So 2818 minus 2662, it's 156. Divide that by 10, it's 15.6. Times that by 3, it's 46. So 47. So 2662 plus 47 is going to be 2709. Times that by 3, it's going to be 8127. Times that by 2.2. So we're looking at an hourly fuel burn, if in holding, of 17,880 pounds per hour. 17,880 pounds per hour. Alright. So once we get closer, depending on our minimum fuel requirements and depending on how much we have left, then that we can factor in whether how much time we have to hold before we have to declare minimum fuel. So we know in terms of fuel, we need just to get our minimum figures sorted. So 2,500, which is the continuous 5%, 12,600 is required to go to shoulder goal, and final reserve of 7,700. We'll add those figures up. So 2,500 plus 12,600 plus 7,700. That's 22,800. So 22,800 is our minimum fuel. If we're below, if we're coming close to that and we haven't landed, then we have to make a choice of either to commit to Gatwick or divert to shoulder goal. Okay, with that being said, that's all of our figures complete for performance. So we can close that now. Alright, the passenger's probably already completed really. I think, I'm not too sure to be honest. Alright, let's do our flow checks. What are we at, 256? Yeah, we better hurry up. Alright, actually before we do our flow checks, let's get the INS up and going, because that's probably going to be the longest. So we're just going to our waypoints here and just number each waypoint so we know to plan accordingly.